Welcome, everyone. I am Chris Gore from Film Threat. We are live. That's right, live on a Friday night. We survived the week. Another week in 2020. We can cross off the calendar, which is probably a good thing. I hope you're doing well tonight. We are in for a treat. Together, all of us are going to watch Pretending I'm a Superman, the Tony Hawk video game story. I have it queued up and ready to go, which is what you should do now. If you're watching this on YouTube, check the description. You can get the movie on Amazon for rent or purchase. There's even a DVD available. And we have the filmmakers here. We have Tony Hawk waiting in the wings to come on and so many other amazing guests. I'm excited. Join us for this Film Threat watch party. Hello again. So excited to have you here. We're ready to get started. And I want to remind you too, we're going to be taking your comments and questions. So, hey, Turk Merc, I'm here for Steve. That's right. We have Steve Caballero's with us as well. We'll be bringing everybody on in just a moment. Make sure you get the movie because in about 20 minutes, we're all going to be pressing play at the same time. We're going to watch the film and then you're not going to hear from me. I'm just going to be very quiet while everyone comments and talks about this amazing documentary. I saw this at the Mammoth Film Festival earlier this year. It feels like 3 years ago, but you are in for a treat because now it's commercially available for all of us. It got No EV gives it 10 stars. And look at this. Release this movie in Germany, please. We have viewers from Germany. That's awesome. So there you go. This is going to be a lot of fun. Well, I'm not waiting around. Let me bring on the filmmakers. Ralph D'Amato, Ludvig Gür. Welcome. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Doing good.
Pretty good, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Enjoying it.
Before we bring on Tony and the rest of the guests, tell me what led to getting this project made. This is really an epic documentary that's not just about Tony's career. It's about the making of this game, the popularizing of skateboarding. I mean, I know my son, took up skateboarding and played that game, every version of the game, by the way. So, I mean, it's like, it was a phenomenon. There was nothing like it. It really is an epic story that spans, decades. I mean, how'd you guys get together and put this all together?
It was actually her fault, pretty much. My wife, Kara. I ran across a video that Ludvig had done on YouTube. It was this really in-depth history of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and it was just so much detail. And I told her about it, and I passed it along to a few people. I think I even sent it to Tony. I think he already had seen it. And she was the one that kind of told me, hey, you got to message this guy. And, finally I did. And that kind of led to us just kind of becoming friends online. And then eventually I went out to Sweden and we met. He was still in high school. And I didn't know that he wanted to be a hardcore director, filmmaker. And we just kept our relationship up online. And he came out to California when he graduated, and he hung out at my place a couple days and kicked my ass at the game pretty handily. He's an amazing player of the game as well and knows everything there is about the game. So we started talking about a documentary that I had thought about for a bit. I had worked with some other Neversoft guys, Chris Rausch, who will be coming on soon, and told him about the idea about doing a documentary, and he kind of pushed me a little bit about doing it. And so it kind of just came together. But had it not been for her kind of going, oh, you should message this guy, I would never really met Ludvig on YouTube.
Don't forget that.
Yeah, and obviously it's been an amazing experience, like Ralph said 6 years ago, obviously some random kid from Sweden playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater, making YouTube videos that almost nobody saw. And now 6 years later, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is one of the biggest games right now, the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2, which is available on PS4 and Xbox One, PS5 as well. So, I mean, it's been an amazing journey. And, to kind of feel like you've been a part of that whole movement of this kind of comeback of skateboarding games, it's been amazing. So, yeah, I'm eternally grateful for it. Yeah.
It goes both ways.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Ralph, should we bring on everybody? It's going to be
yeah, sure.
We have a full house. Everybody is here. Let's
go ahead.
On. Scott Pease.
So Scott Pease.
Yeah,
he was the guy that was in the room at Activision when Tony came by and showed Tony the original demo, and it was a huge part of Neversoft, producer for a long time, and a huge part of the video game series.
Cool. And we also have Mick West this year.
Hey everyone.
Yeah, Mick, original owner of Neversoft, one of the 3 partners, the brains, programming director, kind of the guy who. Yeah, the guru. He was pretty much the guy that made it happen. He made the video game feel the way that it does.
With a lot of help.
Yeah. A good team behind him for sure. But Mick was whenever we were in a bind, you could always just kind of go to Mick and know that it'd get figured out somehow.
Eventually.
No gaming, you know who Walter Day is. That's
Walter Day. So Walter Day is the founder of Twin Galaxies and arguably the father of esports. He was the guy that kind of organized all the different lists of all the different high scores and got people competitively playing video games.
Awesome. And we have Chris Rausch is here.
Chris Rausch. One of the original designers at Neversoft, and designed some of the best, some of the funnest levels in the game. Has been a video game designer and video game guy for as long as he's been alive, and owns more action figures than anybody I know.
Oh, with you.
Caballero, Steve. So Steve Caballero, skateboarding. I mean, what can you say about Cab? Skateboarding innovator. His name is Cab is as associated with skateboarding as you can really get. I think he's had a skateboard shoe for longer than most people have ever had shoes ever with Vans. And I mean, he's constantly killing it, both skate and street. And you can see him on motocross. If you check out his Instagram, you guys just, I know he's living the life I wish I could live, but my body would not take it.
Well, let's bring on Tony, because a lot of people are saying hi to him in the chat. Tony, how are you?
What's up?
What's going on, man?
What's up, Tony? Tony, everyone knows Tony.
What's up, Cab?
Don't really have to say much about Tony.
Happy to be here. Happy to still be here. I feel like I'm looking at the Mount Rushmore of THPS right here on my screen.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Tony, how did you hook up with these guys, Ludvig and Ralph? I know you knew Ralph before to do the this documentary that really is epic, especially if you know your career before even the game existed. It's really amazing.
Sure. Ralph and I worked together actually beyond Neversoft. We started the Ride Shred or Die, which eventually became the Ride channel on YouTube. So I've been in contact and working with Ralph since then. And then he came to me a few years ago and said, I really want to do this documentary. And I was like, what's stopping you?
Tell Tony I said hello.
What's up, Halloran? Halloran's legendary DJ here in San Diego.
Excellent.
I knew Halloran back in Michigan, actually, in Detroit. He was also very legendary. So the comments are coming. We also have Todd Friedman here, has something special for us.
Hi, guys.
Go ahead, Todd. You take it over for about
crashing the party.
Crash the party a minute. Todd Friedman is the editor. Sorry, he's the editor of Walter Day's trading card website. He's got a little presentation he wants to do.
Yeah, thanks to Walter, and I'll let him speak for it as well. But we have some awards to give Tony and Ludwig for their dedication to the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 video game series. Walter Day of Twin Galaxies, who's in this documentary, has created video game trading cards about 10 years ago. And I'm kind of the holder and the organizer of all the cards. I write books about the cards. I write interviews of the card holders on the website. I'd love to give Tony and Ludwig an interview for the website. But we would like to present them with their trading cards today before the documentary. Walter?
Well, there we go.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Oh wow! Oh wow! I didn't know.
Your
Wow,
very own
that's
trading
awesome.
card.
So can you hear my voice?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Go back to the trading card for a second. Okay.
Okay. Let's
Okay,
let me get right back to it. Here we go.
This trading card is number 3,000. This trading card is number 3,522. The reason there are so many trading cards is because the trading cards are not just something that kids collect, even though they do. It's not just something that people run around getting autographs on, which people do, but they're actually a historical document. So your amazing career is being honored by the world of video games and being expressed as a trading card that would be part of, the just a part of the historical narrative as time goes on. People will have Tony Hawk trading cards for years to come. The proudest one autograph. So anyway, there's the Tony Hawk one and the Ludvig one, and we didn't actually print them out and have them in your hands because we wanted to make sure that you saw them first and that everything about them was approved and made sense to you, and we should move forward. So,
Hey, Chris, you want to pop over to the other one as well?
Yeah. Let me grab that.
Yeah, on the back
Ludvig,
of
Ludvig
the
will be a
back of the
little
card
proud.
is all the
Yeah, that's
historic.
really cool.
well, Tony, if you can see me right now on my picture, I'm holding my very prized autograph with Walter. Thanks for your support of THPS. My very, very special gift that I got from you, Tony Hawk.
Well, thank you for this honor. This is very cool. I can't believe that I get to be in the annals of your orbit and your website, and to have a trading card is a big honor.
Well, let me put it in perspective this way. We have put many world famous people on trading cards, and they've all said in amazement, of all the things that ever happened, I'd never believed that I'd be on a baseball. It really is a very, very cool thing that me and Todd, who works so closely with it, I can't say that we take it for granted, but sometimes we lose the perspective of how completely awesome this is for the person who gets appearing on a trading card. Which brings me to one last point before I let us move on. Is Mick and Chris and other people, you guys are all part of that group of people who need to be honored on trading cards and get added to the set. The set attempts to document the culture of our times and those people who made the popular culture move forward and become the amazing phenomenon that it is. So with your permission, and if you're going to encourage me, I would like to work on cards for all of you guys, especially all the Neversoft geniuses, and get them on trading cards. So that's my final statement. And thanks to Bob coming on board here and making this presentation, because he's very devoted to the card set because he recognizes the cultural importance of the card set. We are honored to honor you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
guys.
I can't believe this, honestly. I was so shocked. I mean, my phone is surprisingly, it's blowing up, actually. I don't think anybody expected that.
It's 2 a.m. in Sweden, right?
Yeah. I mean, some people are watching, some are watching overseas. So yeah, but this definitely woke me up. Yeah, I don't need Red Bull or anything now. So thank you.
That's great.
Surprise.
I love that as a quote. No one's ever said before when they got their trading card, wow, that really woke me up.
I'll be the first. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we'll just figure out where to mail them to you guys when we get them printed.
Yeah, I can take care of that with you, Walter. No problem.
Thank you, Ralph. And thanks to Ralph. Thanks to Ralph for making this happen. It was his creative vision that embraced this possibility and just made it happen.
Thanks, Walter. And thanks to Walter for being the guy, to inspire everyone to play video games and keep getting high scores.
Yeah, I understand that I'm in this movie. Is that true?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Steve, we're not leaving you out.
Have you guys having trouble with your mic? It sounds a little dodgy.
My mic in particular.
No, just in the beginning, it's a little choppy here and there, so it's kind of hard to hear Chris and Ralph speak at first. But it seems to get better now, though. But it was a little bit choppy.
Sometimes people have complained about my setup because I'm sitting far away from the laptop, which has the microphone in it. So I can usually solve that by getting up and breathing on my computer.
No, yours has been good.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I think we're good.
I just don't think this camera can getting up.
Yeah, Rausch is a little bit. You're a little frozen.
Yeah.
I just want to remind people to get the movie. You can get it on Amazon right now. We're going to press play in just a few minutes. Before we start the film, what does everyone have to say about what you're about to see?
Oh, wow.
Ludvig, go ahead.
It's been 3 years in the making. It's been an awesome project to work on, to just go from being some kind of YouTuber that nobody knew of to the director of this crazy project. It's been an amazing journey, and I'm real excited for you all to check it out. I mean, honestly, it's just been so amazing to work on this project and to be here with all of you again, this kind of virtual reunion. It's just great. And I'd like to thank you all, especially, of course, Tony, Steve, Ralph, and everybody else involved. It means the world to me. I'll never get to work on something like this again. So, this game is my life.
We're going to work on something else, Ludvig.
Well, like this, not something that I've kind of been able to bring from my childhood all the way to now. It's like, I've never grown up in a sense. So, yeah, but, I guess maybe in 50 years I'll be ready to leave Tony Hawk's Pro Skater behind, but not until then.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. You're still killing those leaderboards, I hear.
I'm trying, man. I just lost I was number 15 on Warehouse, and now I'm like 25. So I'm losing it, man. But I did manage to get 100 million on School 1 actually just before I joined. So yeah, I'm still killing.
You got a 100 million point combo.
Yeah, on School 1. So.
I don't understand how they do that. I don't get how you do that.
I was so excited to get back to 1 million, and I thought I was looking good.
Yeah, I got 1 million. I got 1 million the other day. I was like in downtown. I was like, oh yeah. And then these guys get 100 million point combo. I just don't understand how he does it.
Well, yeah, a lot of practicing and a lot of skipping parties and stuff. So yeah, I can't say I regret it at this point though.
Skipping parties to play Tony Hawk.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Awesome.
Are we ready to start the movie?
Yeah, let's do this.
Is everybody down? Okay, so reminder to everybody, you have to go get the film. Right now, this is
that one
experience. So you're going to watch it on your TV or I'm watching it on my iPad. It's on Amazon right now. And everybody get ready to get queued up. Who wants to give like a 3, 2, 1 count?
How about all of us?
The director?
Ludvig, you should do it.
All right. I'll do it then. All right. Everybody ready or?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay. 3. Wait. All right. I'll do it. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm ready. Yeah. Okay. 3. Got some kind of a weird echo.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, someone's got their mic up.
Okay.
Or their speaker up.
Yeah.
All right. It should be kind of about there.
Right.
If you can see that.
I'm trying.
Follow along in that 1 square inch.
Yeah.
Hey, Cab, is that Angels and Airwaves you got right there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite bands. Especially when I was making this, and I listened to their music all the time. So.
Yeah, I got to see them live at the Del Mar racetrack. Right.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Ludvig and I saw him in LA.
Yeah, in October. It was the best show I've ever been to, honestly. So yeah.
Super good. Yeah, a friend of mine gave me this beanie.
Oh yeah, it's an awesome beanie. Yeah.
Actually, Tom has a store in Encinitas, and she went and bought.
You mean the To the Star Sink, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times. It's a nice place.
Yeah.
All right.
So
All right,
is it
let's watch the
playing?
movie.
Is it playing or what? I can't see.
Yeah, it should be. Are you not playing it on? You got to play it on your side, Cap.
How do you watch it?
I'll send you. I'll send you a
You
link.
gotta buy it, Steve. Come on, support the cause.
You didn't say I had. You didn't say I had to buy it. Come on.
Full disclaimer.
What is
Full
it?
disclaimer. I
In
just
it?
bought it on iTunes right now. I forgot we were doing it. We had to watch it too. Someone tell me where we're at.
Are we supposed to be watching on our?
We're
phone?
right at the intro with Rodney at the intro.
You can see it in the
Rodney's
background
name at
in,
the
in
intro.
Ralph's.
Yeah, you can see Ralph's background. That's how I
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, here.
Everyone's thinking what's on Ralph's screen.
Yeah.
Hey, Cab, I just texted you a Vimeo link you could use,
Yeah.
and then if it asks for a password, I just texted you the password too.
Okay. So we watch it on our phone, but we're zooming on our iPads. Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah, I'm watching it on my device on like a laptop, and I've got it on my iPad right here, so people can kind of keep up with it.
Yeah.
So we're just at Jaws at the credits. We're at
Right, now it's starting. Now we're going Skateboard Madness. That was your video debut, right, Scab? Or am I wrong? In Skateboard Madness? That was your first video ever, or like that's coming right here.
Yeah, kind of. That was one of the very first footage.
Yeah.
was produced in a movie. Yeah. That was
Right.
Steve,
that
I
shot was
saw
Super
I
8.
saw that movie at La Paloma when it came out.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh man, Skate Madness.
Yeah, there
Oh
were
wow.
maybe 5, 6 other people in the theater.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
I was right there though.
Well, that's the guy, the narrator in that movie. That's the guy who what's his name? Phil Hartman, who did the voice for Troy McClure in The Simpsons.
Yep.
And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was so awesome.
That's right. Phil Hartman did that.
Yeah.
I think it was 3.
Yeah. So, Cap, we're at like 3.5 minutes in.
All right. I'm.
So did you see that first cover of Thrasher where it has the guy doing the layback? It's a drawing and he's doing sort of
Yeah.
frontside grind leaning back. I have the very first Skater of the Year trophy that was given to me in 1990, and it was a G.I. Joe action figure put in that pose against a little piece of cement formed like a wall.
No way.
And it somehow survived all of my moves and chaos through the years, but its head and torso came off. So I have 2 legs stuck in a grind position on my Thrasher Skater of the Year trophy.
That's super awesome.
That's awesome.
Actually, Mike Burnett from Thrasher just took it from me recently because he said they're going to refurbish it. So I feel pretty good about that.
Nice. Nice. Put it back together.
I was reading some of the chat, and I have to agree that the games have the best soundtracks of most video games out there.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah.
agrees to that.
Yeah. Certainly at the time.
Yeah.
Music's awesome.
Yeah, that was the one thing when we were making the film, talking to people, the biggest impact that was the soundtrack. That had such a huge impact on people.
Yeah. And on the band.
It was really hard to live up to that with the remaster.
Well, it's cool. They
a
got
lot
both.
of expectation, and I think we did pretty well. Yeah,
You did.
Yeah,
for
they got
sure.
and
all
I
the
did
songs.
see. I just saw in the chat Simeon from Oz, who heads up Birdman, the band.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Taste
yeah.
of
Oh, yeah,
Birdman.
yeah. He's a real good friend of mine. Yeah, and Ralph too.
And so we were supposed to be in Australia
yeah.
in February doing gigs with them playing. We were going to be skating at skate parks, and they were going to be playing their set at the skate park. And that was the very first thing that got canceled from COVID on my schedule.
Yeah, I remember that. That was
AC/DC.
What's everybody's favorite song from the soundtrack?
That's a tough one.
Tony, I want to hear yours. What would be your favorite song? Would that be Ex Los Angeles? Would be my guess, but
No, I think that
Mean Echo.
I was really excited to get Dead Kennedys on the soundtrack. to me, that was a really good representation of skate punk music. But for the relatively newer bands, I really like Millencolin.
Yeah, that's a good one. I just talked to Eric actually. I think he's watching it right now. Eric from
But for the relatively newer bands, I really like Millencolin.
Yeah, that's a good one. I just talked to Eric actually. I think he's watching it right now. Somebody's, I can hear my own voice. I don't know,
Someone's got crazy echo delay going on.
Yeah.
Someone's watching it while we're at.
Eric actually. I think he's watching it right now. Somebody's, I can hear my own voice. There we go.
Whoa.
That's good. Pop Roach, that's a good one. There you go. That's good. Pop Roach.
Oh yeah, Blood Saints.
Yeah, I'm still having a problem.
I'm reading the comments. Yes. Yeah, Blood Saints. You could pick one. Right. I'll do the.
I'm still having a problem.
This is the start. This is your select screen. You can pick one. Right. I'll do the. Someone's got to turn their speaker off.
Yeah, please.
Oh, who's that?
Hey, Chris.
I think Walter. I muted him.
Chris, can you boot?
Oh, he's out.
Sorry,
Walter
Can
peaced
you
out.
boot, Walter?
I think
Okay. Yeah. All right, Walter. We'll bring you back.
No, there we go. That's better.
This is Walter. He asked, "How do you think Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 would have changed the ending to the film?"
Oh God, we actually followed that a lot, Rob. That's a real good question.
Really bad.
What was that?
I can't answer that. I'm not the filmmaker.
No, but I mean, we made the film obviously before we knew there was a game, so I don't think it would have changed the ending. But I think it only would have complicated things if we knew about the game before we started making the film in a way that we probably would have tried to kind of take it into, the new game into the film at the very end, and then the project would have never ended because then we would have done all the potential sequels that may come out in the future too. So because now we're kind of going through, I guess, the second wave of skateboarding games. I don't know what to call it, but now that we got Skate 4 coming out and stuff like that, so there's a question from singing right there.
Oh, new song. Wow.
Yeah.
I love American Nightmare.
That's a good one. I think I'm gonna have to go with MXPX.
Ralphie.
Yes.
It's not letting me in, bro. It's not letting me in.
Oh man.
And this password that you gave me, is it for your email?
It's gonna be over when he gets in.
I know, right?
Yeah. By that time. Hey Tony, did you edit that commercial that we because I kind of assumed that's the one you edited when you talked about TurboGrafx. Was it that one, or do you remember at all? Yeah.
I don't think so. It was more. It was really bad. It was bad.
Was it more like
it's out there somewhere? I don't think that was it.
You don't think that was it? No. Okay, I kind of enjoyed those actually. So yeah.
It was mine was more chaotic. The reason I did it was because Jeremy Klein was working for their U.S. division of TurboGrafx, and he managed to convince them that I would do a video for them at a much cheaper rate, which obviously I could, and I was struggling to make money at the time. So I had a 3/4 inch editing system, which is just the old school. And I put together a video of stuff that Jeremy had shot, interviewing video game shop owners about how terrible the competition was.
Oh, wow.
And that was basically the TurboGrafx commercial that he wanted me to do. And I wasn't one to argue. And it's out there somewhere. It's definitely credited as mine, and it's bad.
Do you still have your TurboGrafx 16? That's the question.
No, but I remember playing it. That was a mean handheld.
Oh, it's Beautiful.
I thought, wasn't it?
It's a great system, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, the handheld was insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That saved me from some of the longest flights of my life during those years.
I'm a big collector of the old classics. I have all the systems from Atari all the way to PS4, and those old systems were the best in my opinion. TurboGrafx, Sega, the NES, all those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So,
good.
Tony,
It was good.
Yeah. What games did you remember first playing as a kid?
Oh, I had Intellivision.
Nice.
And then the local arcade was my go-to was Missile Command for sure. But I played all the hits, you know, Defender and Pac-Man and everything else. But I think I was best at Missile Command. And then the skate park had Battlezone, and we had a lot of big competition with Battlezone.
Great game. Yeah.
Right.
What about first skate video game?
It's got to be 720.
720. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 720. Sure.
Yeah.
I was so jealous of Cab because they gave him one.
Yeah.
And I tried to get one. I tried to buy one, and they were going to charge me at the time. What was that? 86, 85?
86. 1986.
So 86. They were going to charge me $15,000 for a cabinet.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
And I was like, can I get a discount or something? They go, no, but we gave one to Steve Caballero because he really helped us with the game. And I was like, damn.
Yes, I remember seeing a lot of those, or I remember, obviously, that's when I did my research. I saw a lot of ads for 720 with you in them. Like, you know, in like, I don't know, in some magazines and stuff.
I think you saw Cab for sure.
Yeah, Cab. That was it.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
and
was,
then there was also a Bones Brigade edition of 720, which I think there were 5 of those or something. And some guy in San Diego had one and showed it. It might have been fan made, but it was really awesome to see.
Yeah, I only remember doing one ad for Thrasher, and basically they asked me what I wanted to do for the ad, and I just said, can you just give me a game? And they said, yeah. I had no idea how much they were worth, so sorry, Tony.
It's okay. I got to buy one. I got to buy one about, I think it was like 10 years ago. I bought a cabinet, and then we had it at my office, and then anyone that walked in started playing it, and it died so fast.
That was
right.
Just because you got to rotate that thing.
Yeah, I played the hell out of that.
You can get it
at
refurbished
the arcade. And that was
that
game always broke. That was the one game that was always broken because of that controller. It always broke.
And track and field. 720 and track and field were always broken.
Yeah, because people would go crazy on those things.
They used that was the little trick.
That was another one. Yeah. But that game for sure, it was always the controller. It was either broken or it was janky. You know, you'd get like a 180 and then it'd go back the other way and you're like, you just totally screw up your trick line. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the big deal was doing a McTwist. So we're watching the doc. I'm watching Bob, and we're talking about X Games.
Yeah.
First X Games was very confusing.
And there's Street Tony right now.
Yeah.
Well, that was when you could do McTwist on the street courts.
Yeah.
Extra points for McTwist while you're doing the street course.
That street course at the first X Games they had painted it, and they thought the paint was too slippery, so they added sand in the paint. So it felt like we were skating on grip tape.
Oh man!
And you could not get any speed, and if you fell on your skin, you were tore up.
Oh god!
And then they went to this type of.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is too
right
so, yeah.
Sorry, there's a name I haven't seen in a long time. Why? So nobody told them that putting sand on the paint and skating on that wasn't a very good idea?
They were not listening to any of the athletes. They did not care. It was their show. It was like, we were extreme. We were crazy. They would we'd go up the ramp and they'd turn the camera sideways to get super gnarly angles.
How long did it take before they kind of started going, hey, we should probably listen to these guys and kind of display the skateboarding the way it should be and all that?
I would say they hit their stride probably 97, 98 is when they started to realize that what we had to say was actually valid, and that, you know, that maybe we knew a thing or two about how to present our sports.
Yeah. They're showing that ramp at what's his name's house?
That's Elliot's
house. Yeah, at Elliot's house. That thing, he totally expanded now. That back piece actually was a ramp at your place. Now he's totally expanded
so
and
it's
put
twice that
other,
wide now.
Yeah.
Right.
And you guys are doing some crazy things on that ramp now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put a big van on top of the quarter pipe recently.
Yeah, that was yeah. I've got one of those photos in my closet. That was pretty gnarly. Have you hit that thing yet at Elliot's?
I have not. No.
Yeah, that thing is scary looking, at least for somebody that doesn't skate.
It's scary.
It's really, yeah, and that,
it's extremely dangerous.
Compared to Bob's, that's like a smaller version. How much, like, compared to the one at Bob's place, how much, like, what would you say? Half, a quarter? Like,
Elliot's, I think the gap is about 30 or 40 feet.
All right.
And the quarter pipe is 20 feet tall, and Bob's gap is closer to 50 feet, and his quarter pipe is 28 feet tall.
Wow.
Big difference.
That's huge. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
It's still gigantic. They're both still gigantic.
It's funny because when you skate those kind of ramps and you approach them with the right amount of speed, you're going twice as fast as you're used to, but the timing ends up being the same because you're going twice as fast at a ramp that's twice as tall, and you realize that you're going to do the exact same motion that you would do on another vert ramp. It's only when you find yourself 15 feet above the top is when you go, oh, damn, what have I got myself into?
Yeah.
Yeah, as most of us can't even understand.
No. I wish I could. Yeah, I totally wish.
I like this part of the doc here.
Yeah.
Because Scott was talking about Top Skater, and I feel like that's something that people don't know, that we were very influenced by Top Skater.
And that was actually the first skateboarding game with a soundtrack. And I mean, I think that was probably, I mean, I'm sure Ralph, Mick, and everybody's going to disagree, but that's probably what inspired you guys to kind of, you know, try to look for those skate punk songs, because that game.
I don't think so. That's not. In fact, when I played Top Skater, I was more like, oh, come on, Offspring. Like, it's so cliche to put Offspring in a skate thing.
What about Pennywise? Because they had 4 songs, and Offspring, I think, barely had 1. It was only.
I love those guys, but I still felt like if we're gonna go punk, like, let's get into what punk is.
Right. Okay.
And so it wasn't, you know, that is. I agree that those bands are associated with skateboarding, especially like for the Warped Tour. But when we set out to do our soundtrack, we wanted to go OG with what is the skate soundtrack. So I can't say the Top Skater influenced that.
Right, because then as the games kind of went on, that's when you started noticing a lot of the songs from Top Skater and Street Skater 2 and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. You know,
so hung up on Top Skater.
Yeah, we were. I mean, I don't think.
But Street Skater 2 had Less Than Jake, All My Best Friends from Metalheads, 4 years before Tony Hawk 4. That's kind of like, you know, I don't really know if that's coincidence. I don't think any of those, and just being on the music team at Neversoft, I don't think any of those games had an influence on the soundtrack. But I think Mick can even talk to the fact that Top Skater was a game that was, you know, was an arcade game that was across the street at Neversoft. There was a bowling alley across the street, and Top Skater was there. And when I first started, go ahead, Mick.
We've been playing it before we even heard about the skateboarding game that we were supposed to be doing, and so we were all. That was our idea of what a skateboarding game was at first.
Yeah. I mean, it was the only, real piece of it, because it was something I think we would go across the street and play. Even before I came, you guys were going across the street to play video games at that arcade. And I remember holding a video camera while people were playing the game, and we were taking reference of the video game. And that's sort of where it started, because that's what the demo was. A lot of that.
We kind of had to move away from that, though. You know, it was almost like it kind of got its claws into us at first, and so we thought this is what a skateboarding game is. It's about going downhill really, really fast, as fast as you can, do as many tricks as you can along the way. But you know, eventually, that isn't what the game turned out to be. So it took a while, I think, to kind of get away from that idea of being a downhill game and into doing
Yeah.
a flatland game. Well, not Flagland, but open world game.
Yeah,
I think
Top Skater though was that first game to capture that sort of 3D feeling of vert air with a really smooth camera, and it was like you can still play that. You get that cool feeling when you catch air, and I think
that was something we tried to capture really, like that the whole.
I got it.
You guys know there was a sequel to Top Skater.
Top Skater 2, 2.
No, but it was called Air Tricks. It was only vert.
I don't remember that. I know there was like a downhill. I know there was like a snowboarding game that was similar.
But I do know that there was a sequel that was only vert, and Activision bought me one when it came out.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was called Air Tricks in 2001.
They didn't charge you 15 grand for that.
No,
they
didn't mark it against your royalties, man.
Oh, they probably did in their own way. Absolutely, yeah. They were shuffling some numbers.
Yeah,
for
you
sure,
didn't see it.
I was.
You bought
it.
it.
Okay.
You bought it. You paid high retail.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I think I remember. I think there was a Top Skater 2 also, though that came out. But and those games were fun. I remember going over there and to the bowling alley and playing those games. But just like what Rausch said in the film, when we had that level, when we had that demo level that had the big aqueduct that ended up in the skate park, everyone just ended up playing down there, and I think that was when. But we still kept all of the downhill levels. The downhill. I still enjoy like playing I played the crap out of the downhill jam on 1 and 2. I thought it was really fun. I still think that level is really fun. So, and it imposed some challenges. I think that was when we were like, oh, what happens when we get down to the bottom? And then
downhill jam is definitely a polarizing level to people.
Yeah.
From what I've found, they love it or they hate it.
Yeah, or it's same with the mall. Like the mall is the same sort of thing, right? And I like the mall too.
Now the mall is fun now when you can trick all the way back to the top. But like the first game it was hell. Like
Jeez, what are you saying? Come on.
It was hell. His YouTube critic is coming out right now.
I'm reading the chats. Yeah, Downhill Jam. Well, I'm talking about Downhill Jam as the level, but Downhill Jam, the game for the Wii, was also pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That was fun. It's really underrated, actually. I have it on the PS2 version. Is actually a bit better, and it's flawless actually in some aspects.
Is that the Toys for Bob game?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, actually, didn't your Chris Rausch, his video game company, make that one, or at least for the PS2?
Okay. So. I can answer this question.
I
can answer this question because it kind of speaks to something else. So they created the real warehouse for us to do the commercial for the
that was really cool.
But there were only a few skatable obstacles. Everything else was sort of made of flimsy materials. But the thing about that is that the actual plan was that they were going to build the warehouse to scale for the launch of the game and do concerts there and have live feeds from it. And that got COVID canceled. But that was the coolest thing that never happened. That would we were going to do the full scale warehouse, secret room, everything.
That would have been so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going to invite
the vert ramp.
And you were going to invite all the Neversoft OGs, right?
Of course.
Now that would have been dope. Damn, that's so that thing that was in that video, how much of that was actual real skatable stuff and how much was kind of prop stuff?
Oh, the car was real, the taxi cab.
Yeah.
And then the quarter pipe, but all the rest of the ramps around it were all just fabricated. Huh. One part had foam for coping. I learned the hard way.
Oh, nice. This is we're at the part I think where you got the Tarzan video with Riley as a tiny little kid coming up in the video.
Yeah, Riley was a secret character in 2 or 3. Ludwig would know.
Yeah, he'll know. Yeah.
He's the THPS whisperer.
Yeah. Now that the animal chin ramp lives in Woodward, they made a animal chin ramp at Woodward that's there.
They did, yeah, to scale.
And it's a permanent.
Steve and Mike and Tommy, and I and Lance all went there for the unveiling of it.
Actually, I think I might have seen that.
Yeah, we recreated our 4 invert photo.
Oh,
there.
right. Okay.
Have you been back there since, Steve?
I haven't been back there since that time. No, that was the last session there. That's the photo right behind me that we shot.
All right, nice.
That's the new one, right? Yeah, that's the new one. So that was about 3 years ago, maybe?
No, way longer.
4? Really?
Probably. That's the. Man, this is hard.
I don't know. The last 10 years have been a blur.
Yeah, last year and a half.
That one, and then that's the original up there.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So they kept that as a permanent structure at Woodward, huh?
Yes.
They did, yeah. I don't know how much use it gets because that vert spine is no joke. Thing is scary as hell.
How tall is it?
And someone made that for me.
Wow,
awesome.
look at that.
Yeah, that thing's awesome.
I think it's 11 and a half feet tall.
Ooh, the spine is 11 and a half feet tall. That's kind of crazy. Hey, Ludvig, what was what Tony Hawk games was Riley in as a secret character, like including the Neversoft characters? I can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I know. So I think he was in Tony Hawk 3 actually, if in that kind
That's
of
what I said.
with a cheat code.
Yeah, with the cheat code, yeah.
But that doesn't really count because in that way, Danny Way was in Tony Hawk 3.
That's true.
That was also a cheat
That's
code.
true.
Yeah.
I do have to say, when we were doing this documentary, I would talk about stuff and I would be remembering it with great pride and excitement, and Ludwig would be like, "No, that was THPS 3, not 4." Like he's got every single detail, everything dialed in. I just said when you were gone that you're the THPS whisperer.
Oh wow, thank you.
Yeah. And then there was one time you looked at me. I was in the background. He looked at me, and I'm on my phone on Google. I'm like, yeah, he's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was. Yeah, we were talking about the revert, and I said, "Oh yeah, we got the revert in 2." And no,
no, that's 3.
That was the manual in 2. Like, come on, get with it.
Yeah.
Can you actually play 3 on anything but a PS2? Do you have to go back to that to get it to run?
You can play it on a PC. Even Windows 10 can run it actually. So
yeah, they have emulators with that game everywhere.
I want to pull that up because that's the one where we had the whole team in there, right? As secret characters, like
yeah.
Game, my kids are in there, all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, those 3. That's when we went crazy. And then, which one was the one where we did face mapping, where we then included it was just like everything?
Was that 4? I tried that. You can still do that actually because there was yeah, you can still do that. I mean, it turns out really bad now because the cameras have way too good quality for that to kind of work. Because they expected like crappy Nokia phones. Yeah. That was like 1 megapixel.
Yeah. So Ludwig, when did you start filming this documentary?
It was actually 4 years ago now.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much 2016. That's when we did the first interviews with Tony and Scott P too. Actually, I think he was the very first one we did that ended up in the film. So
Cool.
Yeah, it's been a haul. Off and on. Yeah.
Well, it turned out great. I mean, it's awesome.
Well, thank you very much. Let's see.
What's your favorite Neversoft Easter egg? It was actually kind of funny. I did a podcast or I guess I had an interview with a YouTube guy. What's his name, Ludwig? The guy that does all of the. Was that?
You mean Odd Header?
Yeah, Odd Header. Yeah. About all of these crazy. I sent you that email, Tony, about that thing. With the spaceship in the background of you. All these different crazy all these crazy conspiracy theories and things. Like there's one video. And it's out of one of, I can't remember what Bones Brigade video it is, but you're on a ramp and you see like these people think there's a spaceship that comes up behind Tony's head, and it's actually one of those. He's at a, I don't know, a fair.
It was at Expo 86 in Vancouver. It was
and it was the parachute ride.
Fair. Yeah, it was parachute ride. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it's a spaceship. Yeah. Which I'm
just here to debunk all the conspiracies.
Yeah. Which will pique Mick's interest because he's a debunker.
Yeah. Yes, I like the UFOs as well.
Yeah. It was kind of funny though when he showed me that video. I was like, really? People think that's a UFO?
I thought it was a UFO, dude. I didn't know.
No, straight away.
A lot of wishful thinking out there.
No, this first thing I said, I go, I think it's one of those parachute rides at like amusement parks where people they pop you up and then I sent an email to Tony, and I don't know how you had that video, but you sent me that video like within an hour. I guess it's like boom, here it is. It's like a parachute ride.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Who came up with the multiplayer modes and names? Scott.
God, I don't remember exactly who came up with the modes, but I think the answer to that question is yes, you could put your own name in there, right? Like for the horse game?
Yeah,
horse,
yeah.
Because it would say it would say URA and it would spell out whatever you put in.
We always did horses.
Thank God there wasn't social media back then.
We won't go into what was the choice term in Neversoft for that game mode.
Yeah, do you remember when if you go into the water, I think it's always in any level, but it always seemed to happen in Downhill Jam, and you go in the water, it would just say you suck.
Yeah.
I had a guy call me, a guy who I kind of knew, but not that well, but he called me my home phone and left a message, and he's like, "Hey Tony, what's up, man? Just want to tell you I've been playing your new game, and I went off into the water, and you said I suck." And I was like, and he's like, "No, man, you suck. You're the one that sucks." And just hung up.
That's an awesome message.
Yeah.
You suck. Yeah, that was probably Mick that put that message in.
Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, probably not. I'm too polite for that. Hey, someone mentioned fingerboards in the comments, and I've actually got the original fingerboards that I used.
Oh, yeah.
For Tony Hawk 2. I just spent ages figuring out the difference between like goofy and regular and switch and the other one.
That's how non-skaters figure it out right there.
So I was using these and they've got little markings on them so you can see which was
wow.
What. And so I bring them up to something. I say, okay, so this is a front side nose grind. This is a back side nose grind. This is a back side switch nose grind, and I'll figure them all out and put them in.
That's awesome. Hey, whatever it took, we didn't have. I mean, we were not in constant communication, obviously, because of technology back then. So I remember getting those. Discs FedExed every Friday.
Yeah, that was like. Build. Imagine that. I mean, being able to, hey, I'll just go to my Dropbox.
Yeah,
would be magic.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Go to my Google. Hey, Joni, just go to my Google Drive and pick it up. Yeah, that shit didn't happen. Yeah.
I remember taking hard drives to companies sometimes. I have to drive down to Long Beach with a hard drive because somebody needed an update of the entire game for like the earlier stuff we were doing.
Or when we're at the end and we would have couriers that came by like real late night to come by and grab a disc from Neversoft and bring it over to Activision.
We had to burn 10 copies, and we did that ourselves at first, but Activision took over it. But we'd have to stay up all night burning these discs and then send them over.
We would put associate producers on a plane flight to Sony because we were so up against the deadline.
Yeah,
right? Like we'd burn the disc, hand it to them, they'd like hop in a car, race to the airport, fly up to Sony, and hand deliver the gold disc so that we can make our deadline.
Yeah, it worked out.
And when you think of the amount of actual data, it was a CD. It's not that much.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was covered in the doc, but did you cover the whole airport terrorist thing in the doc?
No, we didn't.
Change it.
No.
Yeah,
we did.
I remember that was a full panic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty much an oh shit moment. But actually the timing of it, we got lucky, I think, because had it happened any later in the process, it would have really, and discs were on the shelf. really screwed us. I think it was just enough time, from what I remember, that we were able. I know it was a panic time, but it was enough. It was just enough time where we could change that stuff out.
So, someone should describe the situation, right? Like.
So yeah.
Well, you guys do. You guys designed it. You guys go ahead.
So one of the original goals in the airport was to thwart these terrorists from blowing up an airplane. And correct me if my memory of this runs astray, but that was the original goal, was that there were terrorists inside of an airport, and you had to do these different things to thwart them from blowing up the airplane. And then 9/11 happened, and 9/11. So September 11th, we would have been just about in submission right at September, right? Because so it was at least a week or two before submission that happened, and then we had to the team just had to rally and change that from terrorists blowing up an airplane to stopping the pickpockets in the airport. And thwarting them from pickpocketing people.
The pickpockets that are wearing all black.
Yeah, you can change as little as possible, which is
a
few little things and get it done as quickly as possible.
Code lock, everything's locked at that point, so you don't want to add any code. You don't want to mess with any code because we've already done a full sweep from QA and all of that stuff. So
I think Sony gave us a little bit more time.
Oh wow, look at that.
Changes.
The file name for the bastions was called terrorists. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to answer no, because he was talking about Ollie the Magic Bum. That was another thing that got COVID shut down. We had Kyle Gass lined up on the remaster as Ollie the Magic Bum. So they had already scanned Jack Black as Officer Dick, and I said we got to get Kyle in there because he's the other half of Tenacious D. And I asked him if he would be Ollie the Magic Bum, and he's like, I think I was born to play Ollie the Magic Bum. And then they said it was when everything was crazy, and they're like, he can't come to the studio, he can't get scanned, there's no time to do it.
Sucks.
Such a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that sucks. I was actually
good to see you out there. No, I miss you.
No, it's sweet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's that guy. Oh wow.
Noah gave me a bunch of old VHS tapes with all kinds of old. He lives in Long Beach. He's not too far. Yeah, he still a huge fan of the series. He was one of the guys that competed at the THPS2 Big Score contest up in San Francisco, which was a pretty crazy time. We're at the part with Jaws, who I got to tell you, Jaws was really cool to work with. He's an amazing. I mean, I'm sure you've got countless stories with him being on Birdhouse, Tony. But he's an amazing skater. He's one of those guys that has kind of taken the game and pushed it.
He is the most unique dude I know on a skateboard.
Oh yeah.
In all respects.
Yeah. He was awesome, and he came out from Arizona, and we interviewed over at the barracks, and these guys took him out on a shoot, and I was just like, hey, we're gonna go through LA, and I thought they were just gonna bomb some streets and just get some B-roll and stuff, and I had to get insurance for the shoot, and I didn't know what they were gonna do, and I figured Jaws. And it's kind of funny when you buy insurance for action, they're like, what are you gonna do, action sports, and like, how many feet are you gonna be jumping? And it's like, I don't know, 3 feet. And then I look at what these guys do, and they have Jaws jumping this giant stair set. I'm like, yeah, that probably didn't get covered. And then a week or two after our shoot, he was shooting with someone else, and that was when he totally knocked his front teeth in, which was
his whole upper teeth section moved back.
Yeah.
Like his front four physically broke off his jaw or whatever that is there, and then broke backwards, and he moved them out himself. And he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, well, looks like they're in place, so just leave them.
That was it?
That's it. That's Jaws.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, do you see the comment right there about Jaws in Tony Hawk 1+2?
Yeah, it was what can I say? There were a lot of behind the scenes discussions.
All right.
And it was a more democratic process.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I couldn't just force Birdhouse Riders into the game. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that always happens.
Yeah.
But of course he was considered. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was awesome. I every minute, you know, in the and it was kind of funny because we were going to do the interview, and you know, he wanted to skate at the barracks, and these guys are setting up the lights and setting up the location, and I was like, look, he's going to go and skate, and then he's going to be coming back, and he's going to be just destroyed. And they're like, oh, we need more time. And then of course he went and skated, and he was like, he had like blood spots. If you look at his shirt, he has like something over here where it's like a splatter and like just all messed up. It was typical Jaws. It was fine. But he's a big fan of the game. He was stoked we had the game set up and he was playing it. He was stoked to play it too. Yeah. He definitely
Hey,
gives
Steve,
himself
what
up.
did you think about putting us at our current age in the remaster?
I think it's great. I think it's cool because people are stoked that we're still skating, still rolling around, and
Yeah,
everybody is.
plus it changes it up a bit, you know.
Yeah, and we brought in the young guys too, so it was all right.
Yeah, no, it's good. That one, and actually, that was actually fun going in there and doing that whole process over again and getting scanned the way they did it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you
I
guys
remember doing the mocap. They already went through that section, but I remember doing the mocap for the first game, and it was just such a painful day. And I remember you, Scott, telling me at one point because my board shot out and hit one of the cameras, and you're like, "You might want to go get dressed because it's going to take a while." It took them 3 hours to reset the cameras.
Yeah.
And then we didn't even use that data, right?
No, not really.
No, the biggest thing though, we did use all of the reference footage, footage. Noel like looked at all of the footage that they grabbed, and that got used quite a bit.
Yeah,
that was like the early days of mocap, like just the very beginnings of it, you know. And it's
yeah.
And then you didn't do it again until Project 8, I think, unless obviously you guys know more than me, but you know, from what I understand,
Maybe before that. When did we do when was that intro with it's when we did the intro and we had the quarter pipe in the back of the office, and that was gun time because you had the whole you know, mocaps section in the back area of the new office. I'm not sure if that was Project 8 or right before that.
There definitely wasn't any like kind of high quality intro, like in that sense, like an intro with actual skating in it, you know, up until Project 8, you know, like skating pre-rendered cutscenes or whatever you call it.
Yeah. Maybe was it.
That Project 8 intro still is epic, and I don't
yeah,
know if you guys have seen the YouTube of that guy who tried to recreate the Rodney trick from the beginning of that Project 8.
Yeah,
it was good.
So awesome.
Yeah, we're at now in the movie. We're up in San Francisco at the Tony Hawk 2 big score competition. That was right in the background. That was no wore his. Remember, he wore a helmet.
Yep.
He wore a helmet. He was like one of the top 5 at that place. That was cool. I mean, that was that X Games was so big up there in San Francisco. It was just kind of a huge event that whole weekend.
Yeah.
I think that was at that event is where I learned of the sort of master nuclear code to unlock everything.
All right.
I think it might have been Chris that like looked around and he's like, check this out, and typed it in. And I was like, what happened? He's like, don't tell anyone. And you guys kept that a secret for a long time.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you remember that cheat code?
We'd kind of plan an unlock all in every game and then try to keep it secret. It was really just for us to get around in the final game if we need to check something.
Oh, that was
it was like during testing time, and we'd burn you'd burn CDs and you'd bring them home, and you wouldn't have to want to battle to get to that level. So yeah, you put those codes in.
But we want to make the public work for it, right? Like we didn't want to have an easy out to get everything right away.
But I remember you guys made some formal announcement about it. I want to say it was during Christmas or something, and it was on one of those message boards, and it's like, here's our gift to you guys. It's the master unlock code.
That sounds like us.
Porn star in Tony Hawk 4. I remember that.
What?
It's like a 6-year-old, like, oh my god! You know.
You Swedes grow up too quick.
I guess so.
Yeah, no, we we always tried to milk out the cheat codes for as much as we could on the website. I remember the first thing with when Private Carrera was launched, and on the first one we had little screenshots, and we would hide letters in the screenshot, and those letters would be what the code was to unlock Private Carrera. And that was, again, going back to that one interview I did with Oddheader, all the different cheat codes and different things that were left in, people tend to overthink, especially when they go, oh, I got into this geometry, I went behind here, and there was this little graphic sitting there. What does it mean? It means a designer forgot that little graphic back there. That's what it generally. That's what it means.
I saw a question on there. It was cool. They were asking what inspired the hidden tapes in the game. And so the funny thing is, I don't know that anybody knows this, but a lot of the structure of the career mode was we kind of stole it from Diddy Kong Racing. Actually,
yeah, I think Chris Rausch said that.
Okay,
but it's not in the movie. Yeah.
So Diddy Kong Racing had these like different goals that you'd have to do on each level, and so we kind of snaked that structure of it, and we wanted it to feel like you were shooting a skate video. So I think the thing we wanted to do, which was just not technically possible, was basically record you doing each of the goals in a level and then stream those together into a replay that would be like a skate video for that level.
Yeah.
Of course, we couldn't really do that, so we kind of had to like chuck all that stuff out. And in the end, the one thing that was left was that the spinning tape, the secret tape, that kind of just stuck around and became this kind of cool goal.
So awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and it kind of
at some point though. Where did the replays come in? Because I remember Krista spending hours and hours programming replay.
Well, we had them in one, right? But it would just it would just show like a given goal or whatever. Like we had no technical way to cut,
splice them all together.
Yeah, to splice things together into a.
I mean, show the whole run, and it was pretty awesome, to kind of like doing a 900 and kind of I don't know, like recording it with whatever crappy Dazzle, I think they were called Dazzle. Like it was kind of a VHS recorder, but you could also use it to record video games on N64, and then kind of edit that to the commentary from Tony's first 900. So I used to do that quite a lot actually. So especially with two. Yeah,
I mean, we had one programmer who worked just on that replay code for like the whole project. It felt like just to get it to that.
Yeah. So replays are always a fiddly thing to program because so much wrong in them.
Yeah, rebuilding everything the way it was and reloading everything. Those are always fun things to test too.
Yeah, the other low man on the totem pole job was having to work on the Create a Park every year. I remember that.
Yeah.
Whoever drew the short straw had to program the Create a Park, and
that was. I mean, wasn't Ryan the first?
That was
one
Ryan the first time.
Ryan McMahon.
Did a great job. Well done, Ryan.
Yeah, well done.
He did the first one, and then I think Ken took it on at some point, and Gary.
And who did it for 1 and 2? Tony, do you know that? Or was that like a huge team?
Who did for what?
The
Create a Park?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty. It's actually pretty epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big undertaking.
No, it was great
for sure.
Yeah.
Someone out there created my house.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of crazy things that have been created.
A little concerning, a little creepy, but yeah.
And Simeon created your office too. So Simeon from Birdman. So
it's all right. That's fair game. My house.
Your house.
That's little weird. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's a bunch of. I mean, they really took the Create a Park to a crazy level. I just remember when we were creating the Creative Park, the big thing was the memory constraints that we had, and you know, you were only able to put down a very limited amount of pieces, and it just seems, you know, now it's just you could. People are creating all kinds of crazy Mario levels, and there was like a Harry Potter thing.
There's 3 levels, you know.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
1+2, so yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things that that Ryan battled for a long time.
Yeah,
got it done.
And I know you and he shared an office, right, Mick?
Yeah. So
I'm
he was
sure you
swearing behind.
Yeah, you got your share of Ryan swearing. Yeah, he also was in charge of I remember the other big thing was the 3D front end, which was another kind of bitch for PlayStation 1 on Tony Hawk 2.
Yeah.
That was not so fun.
Yeah, the rotating wheel.
Here's the part about your what's the really long contract you signed with Activision.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. When
yeah,
Tony Hawk 1 was number 2, and Tony Hawk 2 had just come out and it was number 1. So we had locked down first and second place.
Yeah.
At one point, there were 4 titles in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to think that this game was, you know, was beating out Madden consistently. Yeah. The Red Bull cans at Walmart. Yeah. I still have held over from Red Bull. That never stopped.
Yeah. A fridge full of Mountain Dew.
But I did like how the new game, like, it really stayed true to they're just showing the footage from the old warehouse. How it really stayed true to the old game. I think they did a really good job of, you know, the feel and the physics, and you know, I know Ludvig is crazy about it, and I know people in general. It was just in like the top 10 best games of 2020. So it's awesome to see that come back.
You know? Yeah.
Well, early on, I know he was on the chat. Andy THPS played it, and he said it was good, and that was all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
I knew we were good.
He's still playing it. He's
100
streaming it all the
million
time.
combo later,
I've seen some of his legendary combos. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm lucky that he's playing on Xbox One because I'm on PS4, so he's not on my league. Otherwise, I'd not be in the top 10. You know, yeah.
I see this question. Did you know Day One Song? I did know Day One Song was in Grind Session. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's big. At one point it was Big Ten. You know, we could.
I think
we could get people from other games that were long gone. It was all right.
Daywan was one of those, like, he came in and he did that mocap session where he did that just awesome tray flip on the mini ramp, and then we needed to get his body scanned, and I think this was, I can't remember, I think it was for the Project 8 intro movie or one of the intro movies. Yeah. And we needed to get his body scanned, and he didn't show up, and he had some, you know, something going on with his schedule, and so we never were able to get his body scanned and get his character done. But we had Stevie all done. So we assigned Stevie Daywan's tray flip on the mini ramp to Stevie. But you can actually, when you look at it, you're like, oh, that's totally Daywan style on Stevie. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Daywan. You know,
hey, why are you sleeping on Cap? He does 360 flips. Come on, it could have been him.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah.
He wasn't in the game, so.
Yeah, we wanted to get.
You talking about Stevie Williams?
Yeah, Stevie Williams. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about you.
Yeah.
No, Stevie Williams. Yeah, no, it's Stevie Williams. No, Cab, we'd get those.
Yeah, they got similar tray flips.
Cab and Stevie Williams. It's Cab and Daywan. Yeah.
No, me and Muska had the same frontside flip.
That was the one. I mean, see, that's the one thing that
the illusion flip.
Yeah, I'm jealous though, man. I would love to have that. My frontside flips are kick flip 90 degrees and pivot around the rest of the way.
Can I tell you that the fact that you guys had those videos at the end that we needed to film, like video parts, you know, for the end of the game, that actually got me to do more crazy stuff street skating because I wanted the video to come out really well.
Right.
You know, so it really got me to work hard as a street skater and come up with some really good footage for the game.
Yeah, you were also one of the first guys that caught on that you're always looking at your back. And when I remember in Tony Hawk 2, when we were talking about your character, you had that Red Dragon jacket and had the big Red Dragon logo on the front. And you're like, no, don't put it on the front, put it on the back because the kids are going to be looking at my back. And I was like, okay, just know that kids are gonna want to buy that. And you told me, like, yeah, their Red Dragon was getting orders. They wanted the logo on the back jacket. They didn't have it.
No. Well, it was because I played the first game a lot, and it just didn't make sense to me when you picked a character. You saw the logo in the front, but when you were playing the character, there was nothing on the back.
Yeah.
So I said, when I get in the game, and because I'm a chess player, I analyze things all the time, that I was like, well, doesn't it make sense to have just the logo in the back, you know, the whole time?
Yeah.
And
I was like, yeah, hell yeah, it does totally make sense.
yeah, it was cool. And I was stoked you guys did that because then RDS did actually make a jacket and sold it because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it totally made sense. It was, but you know, it was, you kind of saw that everybody's looking at their back and no one else kind of saw that. It was,
Ralph,
kind of
that's
funny.
because I'm an artist, bro.
Yes, I've got some of your art right there. It's a piece of cab art. Thank you.
All right, I have a fun bit of trivia. See me right there. I'm on the stage at that was at the Microsoft stage at E3 2009 maybe. And they wanted me to explain the Tony Hawk Ride board, which we all know the folklore of how well it was received. But when I was walking off stage, coming towards the stage was Danny Harrison, George Harrison's son, with Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney. Were walking onto stage as I was walking out. So I opened up for the Beatles. That's what I'm getting at.
Yes. Very well done. Well done. That's a huge accomplishment.
And that might have been the only good thing about that presentation.
That was your Guitar Hero entry into skateboarding.
Well, and Bill Gates honored you at the Xbox One launch. I don't know if you know that, Tony, but he was saying he was essentially saying that, okay, so these are launch games. You know, I'm really missing a Tony Hawk game at like E3 when they announced the Xbox One launch titles.
Ah, so you have to look that one up.
We need a Tony Hawk game, right?
Damn, dude.
Bill Gates throwing you some
Bill, what's up?
Yeah.
Look at that next question.
$20 freestyle trick were they?
It's because of Ronnie Mullen that those tricks are in the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's just say he's done them all.
It's not the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a video. I've got some of the reference video when Rodney came to Neversoft the first time, and he was awesome. I mean, we just ran a camera, and he did pretty much every single thing imaginable.
Oh yeah,
for us.
He would drop that board and do all that stuff first try constantly, like it was nothing.
Yeah, and it was just flawless, and he was so gracious about doing it. And you know, Rodney, I love Rodney. He's one of my faves, and he's great to work with. And the fact that he's done everything that he did in skateboarding is awesome. But yeah, I don't know. You know, we did a mocap session with Rodney when we did all of the Primo stuff, and we built a Primo box and a manual box, Primo box, to his specifications. He actually gave us the schematic with, you got to put I wish I still had it. You got to put like the 2x4s, and I was like, whoa, that's a lot of 2x4s. This thing was super heavy, and he came out to Neversoft and he would practice in our garage. I gave him a key and told the security guard, hey, there's one of the skaters going to come out, like probably weird hours of the night. He's going to skate in our parking lot. And he did. He was like out there at 12 to 3 o'clock in the morning, and he would be skating. And then we did that mocap session, and a lot of the freestyle stuff was taken out of that for some of the later titles. But earlier on, I think all of the tricks were based on his reference material for sure. Yeah,
he's the Godfather.
You said security guard, Ralph. You talking about the parking Nazi?
No. This was the last.
Or the later one.
The later one. This is the last place that we, which I don't think is anymore. I think they leveled that place. that we moved to. I can't remember. Do you remember what was the street name, Scott, that place was on? Do you remember?
Which one are you talking about?
The last where we did the big place where we did Thug and Project 8 and all, where you guys did Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah. That was on Varial Avenue.
Varial, yeah.
Of
course.
It's gone
That's
now.
how I would find it. That's how I used to find it before NAV systems. I knew it was Varial. That's right.
Yeah. Neversoft on Varial Avenue. That's right.
Perfect.
Yeah. This is a fun day. We're at the dock in the at Vans. This was at Vans that day with where I interviewed Cab and Hosoi.
Yeah.
Oh, was that with the TVs? All the TVs?
TVs.
Oh no, that was something else.
No, yeah. This is just
I saw that. I saw that Algario Cab. I saw that one. Hand on Kobe. What? Wow.
Yeah, that's it. Elliot has a little bit of
I have a good story about this question. What do you think the craziest special trick is? When I created the special trick called the sack tap, I had never actually made it in real life.
Really?
And so when you guys put it in the game, I had to go learn it and do it for real.
Oof. You know what the craziest for me was when the froggy grind. Okay, at first when that came in, the froggy grind, I was like, okay, Tony's not going to want to. Tony's not going to want to do this. And then you sent me an email with a photo of you in froggy grind position.
Oh yeah, that was real. It's a real thing.
I was like, okay, he really wants the froggy grind. We're gonna put the froggy grind in for him. Yeah, the specials got a little crazy. Yeah. It started off where we were just trying to do like the most insane, over the top things that someone has ever landed. I think that was sort of the inspiration, and then it just kind of wound up. Especially when Costin came into play, it kind of went a little crazy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ralph, I liked when you did the faction guitar slide.
Yeah, the faction. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the guy who will tell you what game it came in.
Let's do battles in the game. It was pretty easy, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which game was that in?
Tony Hawk 4. That had Skate and Destroy. So that's the game where you kind of got a special, not just a skate video, but you also got kind of this special video, like a day in life of whoever.
Yeah.
Was that also where we did the roots of skateboarding video, where we show all the guys when they're younger and they're kids and stuff?
Oh, I don't know
remember that one. Yeah, that was.
I think that was some 2 maybe, because that had 80s Tony, because you can unlock 80s Tony in the game.
Yeah, I think maybe that was the roots of skateboarding.
Yeah,
that's where we showed that video of Joel when he was a little kid doing stuff too. That was pretty classic.
Making that game was super fun, THPS4, because to come up with all those what were the pro capstone goals that
like the pro goals, collecting jukeboxes with or not like beatboxes with Chad Musk and stuff like that, and that was so cool.
We did a lot of interviews. We talked to all the pros and kind of like dug through their history to try and come up with that stuff, and it was just fascinating to sit down with everybody and just dig through their whole history of skateboarding. Super cool.
Yeah, I think UCAV had, I can't remember, but it was some, I think it was a goal where you kind of did tricks on a vert to get it with a BMX rider. I can't remember which one it was right now, but it's someone who you quite often rode with back then,
that was Hoffman was the BMX
Rick Thorne,
right?
No, it was someone else.
In the game?
Rick Thorne,
yeah.
Yeah, that was it, yeah. And then you got a really cool video after that, so.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Trying to get a Rick Thorne pedestrian in the game to like actually animate on a bicycle, full on hack just to make that one thing work is what I remember. The programmer's not happy about that one.
Yeah.
Pretty much every kind of animation that we had prior to like Thug, when we really had animators take over, it was all hacked. It was all scripted stuff that we had to build line by line to figure out. Like I remember spending forever on the Foundry when you dunk the guy into the tank and he like flips over into the tank, and they couldn't flip him over in the animation. All they could do is give me like the key pose for him floating. So I had to just find a frame of him that was like hunched, and then flip him in code or flip him in script. It looks awful looking back at it.
And it's, what are you talking about?
It might be 2 pages. It might be 2 pages.
What are you talking about? It was awesome.
Just for that one thing. Yeah, so remaster that one and go ahead and do that anim over again.
Oh, I'd love to see that. Yeah, can't wait to see what the future holds of Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters. So yeah.
Hey, me too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. We got Bigo
someone
guys
was asking
online.
Someone was asking me. They were talking about Robomoto and THPS 5, and I don't think we're going to revisit that one. But Josh, who ran Robomoto, he just did a documentary on Midway.
Insert Coin, yeah.
Called Insert Coin. I just watched it yesterday. It's pretty interesting. A lot of Mortal Kombat, NBA 2K. It's awesome.
Right, Scott, you're not selling it for $500 either.
No way. It's a prized possession.
So Tony, are you in the Midway doc, or because that's on the early version?
I am in it at the end of the credits with a little funny story. But
we're actually doing a watch party with Insert Coin, and Joshua is going to.
Very cool. Okay, yeah.
Next year.
I mean, I'm in it briefly, but.
Yeah, no, I saw you. It's a great documentary. It was supposed to be by Southwest last year or earlier this year. So
the whole.
I think you got a bidding war going on. Let's go. Let's see how far we can take it.
What do we got? Oh, 1,000. We got 1,000.
Oh wow.
1,000, Scott. I'm still not giving it up for 1,000.
Where are the extras though? That's the question. You gotta find them.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, we have DVDs that are coming out as well. So
that's cool.
Get some DVDs, some physical product.
We had that the same graphic that's on that board, right? We had like a 8-foot tall mural that was done for E3, I think, or something like that at the office. And
E3 was so wild. It was just Wild West. We could do anything there. We put up a vert ramp at the booth. Like, it was unreal.
I was telling
people stories
ending scene
about when Joel would give us those like a pile of Neversoft stickers to take to E3, and we'd go over to like the MTV skateboarding booth or the grind session booth, and we'd stick the stickers all over the controllers so you couldn't play.
Hey, do you remember someone else put a vert ramp up at their booth, but it was super sketchy and narrow, and a board flew off and hit someone in the head?
No, I
you guys remember that? And then it was over. Like, that was no more skating in E3 after that.
Right.
No. Yeah.
They ruined it for everyone.
we just finished.
Yeah.
Finished the movie.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys putting the memory of my mom and obviously of your dad.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. Not for your mom, there'd be no Tony Hawk.
Exactly.
Info games, that's it. Infograms, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing at E3 though, in my memory of E3, was Joel dropping in on that vert ramp.
Yeah.
That was
awesome.
Joel's the best.
When he dropped in on that vert ramp, it was, and he's at the top and he's like, I'm fucking scared, man. And then he drops in. That was awesome. That was truly an inspiration.
We all met at the Mondrian around that time, and the Mondrian was the hip hotel bar in Hollywood then. And we all met for dinner for some reason, and then we went. What was their bar called? It was impossible to get into.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember the name of their bar.
It was one of those bars where it was just, the dude's looking at you and just like, no. And we rolled in because we were on the hotel side, and Joel goes to that bar. God, I wish I could remember what it was called. In white corduroy shorts. Where it's just all Hollywood, like the most done up, the most ridiculous, and Joel's just like with his mustache, like, "Hey, what's up? Yeah, woo!"
Dude, can I get in?
Can I get in?
Yeah, he did not care. Didn't care. It's great. I love it.
Bud Light.
Yeah, that was it. That's Bud Light. Cool. Let's send to the bar.
Yeah. I just pulled out some of those photos of the Tony Hawk 2 rap party where Joel was on stage. We had Tenacious D playing, and Joel got up on stage. and he was like, Joel had, I don't know how many drinks he had, but he was pretty toasted, and he's like just going, motherfucker, he was just cussing, and then Jack Black goes, "This is your president?" He's like, holy shit. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. That was a fun time.
Yeah, I mean, that was the heyday. We had Tenacious D play the rap party. How ridiculous.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. That was at Gotham. What is it? Gotham Hall in Santa Monica.
Santa Monica,
Yeah.
My favorite was still the one where we all dressed up like hair metal guys and had the that
was like Tony Hawk
karaoke. Yeah, it was the heavy metal karaoke.
That was Tony Hawk 3, I think, at that
racetrack.
At a racetrack, yeah.
Lots of good photos from that.
Yeah.
Hey, Ralph, I got to take off.
All right, Cab. Hey, it was good to have you on, man.
See you, Cabbage.
Thanks for the support.
Tony, see everybody.
Hey, check him
next
out.
week. Hey, let's skate next week, Steve.
Check him out on his Instagram. Cab is still killing it. Street, vert, moto, whatever. Everything.
Salad maker.
Cab salads. Yeah, you got to get this Cab salad.
Get it at Pizzanista, downtown LA.
Yeah. The Cab salad is a thing of beauty for sure. Yeah.
All right,
Thanks
guys,
again,
thank
Cab.
you for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, take it easy. Talk soon.
Bye.
Take care.
Skate or die.
Skate or die. Shred the gnar.
Oh, wrong game. Sorry, that's the wrong series. Shit. Oh, what have I done?
So those Thrasher guys actually came in. You talked to those guys about the Thrasher game, Tony, huh?
Well, it was before it was a Thrasher game. It was Take Two.
Oh, it was Take Two, but it was
Take Two was they had the game going, and then they actually called me around the same time as Activision, and so that could have been the first Tony Hawk game. But then when I saw what Activision was offering in terms of the game, that was it.
Yeah,
I could already tell that their game was going to be difficult to learn. Yeah. And when I started playing what Neversoft had done, I was like, this is it. This is intuitive. This is like, I can already do ollies.
Did you play the Take-Two game when you were talking to them?
I did. I played it a little bit. Yeah. Just the first engine. And the engine was so hard to figure out how to do tricks.
Oh, it was super hard.
Even when they shipped, it was hard to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, we got it. We played the hell out of it at Neversoft, and it was just really difficult. And to think that they would have thought somehow that would have transferred into, Tony Hawk and vert skating, kind of, I don't know how that would have ever worked. Because there wasn't really any.
I don't know. I mean, I understood what they were going for. Like I had a few meetings with their designers, and it was funny because I think that was right when they started Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm.
The
first one. Yeah,
and they were kind of hinting to me like, we made a game. It's kind of naughty. Like you can steal cars, and I was like, oh, that's cool, I guess. And then that was just exploded. So they did all right. They didn't need me. They did okay.
No, Activision definitely needed you. I think at that time that was a nice little boost for them.
Oh, hey man, sure. It was such a pleasure to work with Neversoft. You guys were the best. It was so much fun. You guys dove headfirst into skateboarding, like seriously lived it. And I couldn't believe that after we did that first game, I didn't have to explain anything to you guys after that. Like in terms of what is hardcore skating or what would pass as cool, you guys were already in it. Like go skate in Ventura Skate Street every week. It was awesome, man. It was such a great experience for me too, even though I was on the outskirts of it. I was really proud of it, and we had a good run.
Yeah, no, it was awesome for sure. Yeah, I know all of us at Neversoft we're super thankful to have somebody like you that we could, bounce stuff off of, ideas and all that stuff. It helped quite a bit. And then obviously, you as a spokesperson, you really can't get a better spokesperson for skateboarding. So I think it was awesome. I mean, we were, and anytime you came out, I know when you came out to the office, we had you inundated with signing stuff, and that was sort of like the appreciation that everybody had for you, and not just us, but our friends and other people that were like, "Hey, can you get this signed by Tony?" So it was cool.
It was no problem.
Yeah,
and I was glad to get to the.
So much stuff. Here's another 5,000.
I was glad to go to the farewell party too. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah. When Joel burned the eyeball in effigy.
Yeah, didn't he shoot it with like a flaming arrow?
He shot it with an arrow.
Yeah.
That's so typical.
He shot it with a flaming arrow, and it didn't exactly burst into flames. So then he had to walk up with the gas can and just.
Sounds
we
about
all
right.
watched horrified, like he was going to.
I might have a video of that.
Oh, it's crazy.
Typical. Yeah, that sounds like Joel for sure.
Yeah.
I might actually have that in my phone on video.
Look at Rausch. I think you have just as many. I don't know, maybe just as many skateboards behind you as Tony does.
Oh yeah, I have my Tony board up here too. There's that first team board.
I got mine up there somewhere. There it is.
I got boards everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I've still got mine as well.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was one of the cooler things. I think that was funny. That was the Pro Skater 2 is where we got all those boards, or was it 1? I can't remember.
This I think
was 1.
Yeah,
it was awesome. I think everyone was stoked.
Yeah, hey, fun story. So those wheels on it are not the original wheels because at some point when my kids were little, they didn't quite know what that was. And so, they knew it was like, oh, it's a board that, Tony gave my dad. So they snaked the wheels and skated.
Awesome.
So I had to go out and put some other ones on there.
Nice.
I tried to match. They were like off-white, so I tried to match.
Yeah, I was going to say, yours are really white. Mine are kind of yellow.
This is the photo from the last Neversoft.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right on.
Me and Joel and an eyeball cupcake. Pretty cool.
Nice.
Here's there's Joel with Jack Black
on stage. There you go. Didn't Nolan jump on stage too and try to
Nolan jumped on
during
stage. Yeah, he did, and then they tried to kick him out. And I walked over, I'm like, no, he's like, no, he's with our party. He's part of our company. And like,
yeah,
hey, just make sure he doesn't jump on stage. Like, he won't jump on stage again. And I walked over to Nolan. I'm like, hey, Nolan, don't jump on stage again. I'll try not to.
That was a bad idea. That was the best bad idea.
Yeah, that was awesome. Tony, why wasn't Crash Bandicoot an add-on skater?
That was beyond my pay grade.
Yeah, I don't know. We had a lot of, but when you think about it.
Anyone, maybe not. Yeah.
What was that, Ludvig?
In Tony Hawk 5, if you pre-ordered the game on PS4, you kind of got a skin of, I think, Crash Bandicoot at some point.
Look at see. Yeah. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Whisperer right there.
It was kind of crazy. Some of the licenses we got for secret skaters, like some of the Star Trek stuff that we got, like Boba Fett and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was unbelievable. I couldn't believe we had Spider-Man. That was crazy.
Spider-Man.
Spidey was the best. When you guys, it was you and Markovich, right, Tony, that put the suit on?
Yeah. I ate shit in that costume.
Full character.
I slammed so hard in that costume, I wanted to burn it.
The story about the suit is the most amazing. When we got it, so that was actually an official Marvel Spider-Man suit.
Yep.
And it gets sent to you, and then we get it back. And Marvel had been asking Joel about it, and then we get it back, and you cut the eyes out.
We couldn't see. We could not skate in that thing. We couldn't see it. It had this sort of, it had
I just remember being like, "Holy shit!" He destroyed an official Marvel.
Did you want us to skate in it or not? Did you want that footage or not? That's what you get.
No, but I remember it was like a big deal. It was like, holy shit, how are we going to send this back to Marvel? So I think once the video was done that you did, that the video that was, we sent the suit back, and then, hey, check out this video that we made. And all was like forgiven. It was like, that's really cool. That was
that was like an official suit. And now you can go to like Party City for $50 and get something so much cooler than that. Like,
I just remember I remember Markovich didn't want to wear the full suit, so he wore the shorts underneath because he didn't want to.
Oh, and his backwards hat.
Oh, yeah.
You can totally tell it was him. You're like,
yeah. That
We
was
shot
awesome.
that. It was we were doing that gigantic skate park tour then, and so I can't remember where it was. I think it was a Vans park in DC. And so after the whole demo is when I was like, "Hey, Chris, do you want to do the Spider-Man thing with me?" Even though we've already skated all day. He's like, "Yeah, sure. If I get to be in it, why not?" And then we did it, and I did a finger flip invert and destroyed myself on the flat bottom, and then I gave it to Chris.
But you did like
the rodeo flip.
Yeah, I did a rodeo flip over that box too.
I don't know.
You did like a rodeo flip.
It's all blur.
That was the most impressive thing. Like because you tried it, and you see it in the video. It's like it was two. I think it was like your third time you did this rodeo flip. It was like, holy shit, he did that trick. But yeah, I just remember.
Well, what can I say? I had the Spidey suit. I had to do something.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest videos too. That was definitely one of the coolest videos that we had in the game, and he was one of the coolest characters for sure. Yeah, there's no rodeo flip.
Yeah, those secret characters were crazy. Like back in those days, we could just ask and get the rights to do that stuff, which would never happen today. You'd have to pay millions of dollars to get Marvel and Star Wars and all that stuff. It's a different time.
Yeah, it was. It just seemed way easier, especially with some of the band. Like, I mean, didn't we have all of Kiss in there, or a bunch of, and then we had like
Kiss concert in one of them.
We had Billy Joe in there as well, like from Green Day. Didn't we have him in there?
One game, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy the amount of secret characters. You don't see that really happening. That's the one thing that has sort of dead. The other thing I think has died quite a bit are Easter eggs. You know, we had a lot of different Easter eggs and secret areas that kind of stuff kind of died in video games.
Well, Tony
Star Wars Kid.
Rebirth.
Yeah.
That's right.
Star Wars Kid for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And all the goats everywhere. I mean, but there are parts of levels that people never even saw because it was a secret area and they might not have even seen, Marseille had a decent secret area.
Yeah.
Well, there's a new one in Tony Hawk 1+2 on Skater Heaven that was never in the original, so look out for that. Skate
Heaven in 1 and 2 is quite a bit different than Skate Heaven in the original.
It is. You start off so the initial one that I just noticed was the art is amazing. Like the whole
it is. Yeah, it is.
Digital look thing that they did.
It's awesome.
But the half pipe at the beginning was supposed to be that Pepsi rad ramp from the 70s. That plastic. No flat bottom.
No flat bottom.
And they made it like this really bitchin' digital half pipe now. So that one's a little different. And I don't recall seeing.
You got to put an animal chin ramp, at the very end if you go to a secret area in that level.
Yeah. Yep. We had chin in there before,
but not in that secret area.
Yeah. On Skate Heaven. So what? Skate Heaven was like Wallows. And a local park in SoCal that was called Sadlands. It was like Moon Park or Sadlands. Had all these really cool planners that were, they look like craters, but you could skate them.
Right.
And then Tony's house, I think your Carlsbad house, was there
with his ramp in the backyard. Yep.
And the chin ramp was in there. That was the first time we actually were able to, because I wanted to do the chin ramp for 1. Right. And I ended up having to make it into Roswell because it wasn't enough to make a whole level out of. So I just changed it all up. Yeah. But then we did the chin ramp again later in the Bermuda Triangle level, the other secret one.
Yeah.
And that was like you could blow the tunnel out of the middle and everything. That was fun.
Good times. Good times.
Great times.
Going through the old Tony Hawk stuff. How'd you get the guys from the Skaters and THPS 2X? 2X wasn't all that much different than...
Nah, it's the same game.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what they're talking about. I think they're maybe referring to the Korean skaters in, the PC version, but that's it. Yeah.
That was that.
Oh, I remember getting that message. Yeah.
The K-pop skaters,
Yeah, the K-pop band.
Yeah.
I remember them. I when they sent it to me, I was like, I don't want to do that. And they're like, no, you don't understand. This is huge. This is the only way to get THPS into Asia is to put this K-pop band in it. And I was like, all right, let's go.
We're ahead of our time.
Yeah, you can still get a sealed copy of Tony Hawk 2 for $5 in South Korea and actually ship it anywhere in the world. And they have so many left. Like it's
nice.
Yeah.
They have an infinite amount.
Yeah.
But it was how many? It wasn't like 4 or 5 different K-pop characters that were added.
It was 4. It was the whole band. Like and they had 8 songs.
Yeah.
And they had 8 songs, and it was.
Hey Mick, do you remember having to do anything for that? Do you remember doing addition? So did we just gave the code, everything to somebody else, and they added?
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine that would have impacted like the game, like the memory, all that stuff, you know?
Yeah. No, but we just
gave it away to somebody.
Focus on the actual game, like the mainstream, the mainline game, and so other companies were doing all this other stuff, and we hardly had to deal with them. I just had to explain the code sometimes.
Yeah. Now they got it. Noah wants me to plug the skate park project. I would love to. Skate park project is my foundation for public skate parks in underserved areas. It was formerly Tony Hawk Foundation, but there's a bigger play now. So it's Skate Park Project. And if you donate all through December, an anonymous donor will match all donations. So please donate and help us create more skate parks so that more people will start skating and want to play THPS.
Yes. What's the number at? What's the number at? How many total? Like you guys have donated to how many total skate parks now?
We're almost up to 1,000 now. Skate parks in the U.S. that have been completed, and projects with Skateistan in South Africa and in Cambodia.
It's awesome.
And I mean it's the work I'm most proud of, and I'm just kidding about trying to create THPS players. It's really because I grew up near one of the last skate parks in the U.S. and I knew how lucky I was to have that place of community and to have that sense of belonging. And I just want to provide the same thing for kids who choose to skate who don't have any facilities to go to.
Andy, what's up?
Awesome.
Does the anonymous donor's name rhyme with Honey Talk?
No, I can't take credit for that. I did my share of fundraising by doing this. I don't know if you guys saw the 8x10 that I did with Steve-O, where we did this wall ride thing.
Oh, the wall ride, yeah.
Yeah. The story behind that is that Steve-O wanted to do something that we would both do. Like we talked about doing a doubles thing, kind of a fundraiser. We did that. We made 2,500 of them. And thought we're crazy. Like there's no way we're going to sell this many, and there's no way we're going to be able to sign this many. But let's do it. Why not? Let's sell them for $50 each, or $40 each, and we'll try to make $100,000 for the foundation. Like that was the goal. So we sold them for $40. We made 2,500. Within the first day, he had sold 4,000.
Wow.
Huge. So we kept making them and kept selling them until we got to 12,000. And then I said, "You got to cut it off. We can't sign anymore."
Oh my God!
It was so much that we were so far behind the ball of signing them, so we ended up making $500,000 to the foundation just signing 8x10s.
Wow!
So I've done my donations for the year. That's the story.
Totally.
Yeah.
And Steve-O said it wasn't that big a deal to a pro skater, and I'm here to say that it was a big deal, and I ate shit trying it, and I'm glad that we don't have to do it again.
Yeah, I remember, when I worked at your office, seeing the piles of skateboards and piles of 8x10s, but I can't imagine seeing a pile that big of stuff to have to sign. And
it was basically we would sign about 1,000 at a time and just transfer them back and forth, me and Steve-O, for about 2 weeks.
1,000 signatures at a time.
So nuts.
And that's to break it up. That's
to break it up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, like I said, I remember
at some point in my household, my kids just knew me as sitting in this one chair in the living room, hunched over signing stuff, listening to podcasts. It was like I was just a fixture in the house. I wasn't even available to them.
Dad's the water fountain over in the corner.
Yeah.
Don't talk to him.
It was like, how many of those have you done? I go, I don't know. And then Steve would come over and like, yeah, man, we've only done like 5,000 so far. Oh.
You do a really good Steve-O. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to keep that in your voice like that.
Yeah, you did a really good Steve. That's a ton. Like I said, I remember at the office just the piles of decks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she has so much to sign. I could not imagine that number.
Hey, I never really thought it would be a currency. You know what I mean? I never imagined that. Like I'm stoked to do it, and I never thought that it would be something that could raise so much money. It was unreal.
Yeah, got to start a Hawk coin. Yeah. See, someone else appreciates your Steve-O impression.
Mm-hmm.
I can only do it for about 2 sentences, and then I start coughing.
It starts messing with your throat.
Yeah, exactly.
Label out on that Red Bull, Ralph.
What's that?
Pick the label out on that Red Bull.
No, man.
Case in the mail.
No, this is the only thing. Like at my age, that's the only thing keeping me, active.
Right.
Yes. Nick, what was the most challenging aspect of setting THPS 2 apart from THPS 1?
I think because we figured everything out in Tony Hawk 1, or so we thought. We kind of just picked a whole bunch of new things to add in, and I think we just kind of had to boil it down. And I want to shout out to Scott Peace here, because I think like he's the guy who really, I think, started finessing the quality of the Tony Hawk games with Tony Hawk 2. He kind of took over a lot of the kind of the trick stuff from me, and was doing stuff there. So well done, Scott.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there's no Tony Hawk without Mick West, right? So
yes.
I mean, the core physics and everything come from Mick, and Mick was always
I was always programming things though so someone else could take over. So like I did that little script system, and I said, "Hey Scott, here now you can do it all."
Hey, just go ahead. You want?
No, I was just gonna say, but Mick's attention to detail. I mean, like, I think a lot of people when they think about the Tony Hawk games, they think about the feel of the controls and everything, and so I just keyed off Mick's attention to detail in terms of just wanting to get everything feeling super good in the hand. And I think that's really what sets the games apart from other games, and it's a lot of that comes from Mick.
Team effort.
Yeah. And just to say, it's got to be really weird for Tony to hear that if it wasn't for Mick, there'd be no Tony Hawk.
Don't you forget it.
Are you my dad? I didn't think you were that old, but okay.
We talked about that up at Mammoth, how it's weird for him to, that Tony Hawk, our video game is always like that Tony Hawk. And
well, it's weirder. It's weirder
guy.
Whenever I would go to Activision or Neversoft, and that's how Scott would speak of things. He'd be like, well, in the next Tony Hawk, I'm like, dude, right here. Well, we're doing really well with Tony Hawk. I'm like, oh.
It's crazy when you become a product. And then people don't think of it. Like I never even thought about that until Mammoth. When you said that at Mammoth, I was like,
oh yeah.
Oh crap, that's what we've always said. Oh, the next Tony Hawk, the next Tony. Hey, yeah, the next. So Tony, the next Tony Hawk we're gonna have.
Sometimes they would catch themselves and say, well, yeah, in the next pro skater. Like annoyed that you had to switch it up for me.
We just call it skate in house at first.
Yeah, skate.
So
burning and labeling skate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Skate 1, Skate 2. I actually came across a couple old burns, and it was just SK1 or SK08, SK2, 03, whatever, the date.
Skate 3.
029, 01, yeah.
I remember getting burns, and you could do flip tricks while grinding. And it was
the multi
one burn that it was just like, this is so awesome. And you didn't have to ollie. You could be in a board slide and just have the board do a 360 flip and then back on. And it obviously didn't make sense in the physics or whatever, but I used to love that burn. I would go back to playing it.
Yeah, those old burns. Yeah, you got one every week for. I mean, you must have had a crap ton of burns. Yeah.
Oh wow, Haley. To answer your question, honestly, I had more experience with the van trick because I used to do that in the Boom Boom Huck Jam, so it was more like sort of digging deep into my old skill set. The Steve-O thing was way harder because I didn't necessarily trust Steve-O to make it every time. And if he fell, then I also
you're screwed. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say that one was harder. That one was much more of a relief when I made it.
How many tries on the Steve-O trick? I don't want to,
Oh, it took us a while. It took us
like the video.
15 or 20, And but also it wasn't just him. If he made it, I'd bail, and then sometimes if I made it, he'd bail. So
yeah. Yeah. Well, he's not mostly known for his skate talent, although he's a good skater.
Oh, he's a good skater. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. What was the most difficult trick to achieve? I would think it's the next trick you're trying, because I know, just being at the office and knowing you a little bit, I know there's probably two or three things in your head you want to try right now, right? That you're thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And those are probably the most difficult.
Yeah, I think the hardest one for me at the time was kickflip McTwist, because just we didn't have ramps that you could really go big on like that to get the air time to do something like that. So I had to deal with the ramps that we were riding. Not that I knew any better, but to try to figure that out on the limited vert ramps that there was really hard. And I remember once I made it, I never wanted to do it again. And then Transworld asked if I would do it again, because they'll put it on the cover if I do it again. And I was like, shit, okay, I'll do it again. And that was it. That was the only 2 times I ever did it. What was that? What did they call it? Tail slide? Oh, you mean where I took my foot, my front foot, put it on the back foot? I don't know. Tiny dancer? I have no idea.
So how many days a week are you out?
It was kind of like the Running Man. It was the Running Man tail slide, maybe.
All right. How many days a week are you at the office still skating, Tony?
More than ever. I mean, ever since COVID hit, I have honestly been skating more regularly than I have in the last 10 years.
Wow.
So that's been the silver lining for me anyway. I know it's like it sucks so much in every other aspect. But I've been thankful to get to spend time with my kids and to be able to skate all the time and just for fun.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
Yeah, that's good. And I know skateboarding has just increased in popularity with COVID. I mean, my nephew is a huge skater, and his friends are all skaters, and it's just one of those things you can do on your own, wherever, however, it's we can't keep skateboards in stock, and we have a hard time getting them made right now. Wow.
But it's funny because there's certain elements, certain components to skateboards that are even more scarce. So trucks are hard to get right now. Bushings are impossible. So I have the stack of bushings that's almost like having Bitcoin right now. Like
I saw that Instagram where what's his name from Bones sent you a bunch of bushings.
Oh no, that wasn't from Bones. I can't get them from Bones.
Oh, you can't get them from Bones?
That's from my friend who's a filmer who just happens to have a stash of them. So
right.
He's like, what do I get the guy who has everything? Bones bushings. And like Independent doesn't have hardware. You can't get hardware to set up a skateboard right now. It's wild.
Wow. That's crazy. So it's the industry. I mean, skateboarding is more popular than ever.
It's wild. Yeah. I mean, we're back.
Yeah.
So let's keep going. 3 and 4, and then Thugs, and then new.
I wish I could say that's happening. I don't have info on that yet.
Yeah, I know you would be able to say, but let's keep it going. I'm playing the hell out of the game for sure.
Hell yeah. Actually, I have to get back in shape because there's some things coming up where they want me to live stream. And I was doing really well on the release. I'm a little rusty now. So,
playing the game?
Playing the game, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Ludvig can give you some pointers.
I realize that.
Why don't you could actually just have him jump in for you.
Ooh, yeah.
Just like covert behind the scenes.
Let's synchronize button combos. Let's do it.
Like 100 million point combo. You could just go like this. You
I still land sideways on Madonnas. Still a problem.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I can get 1 million. The 100 million stuff is just beyond my comprehension. How you could do that?
It's not happening.
Well, do not grind. That's my big. Do not grind for more than 1 second.
That's the trick.
One of them, and also do a lot of wall rides. That's the other one.
Okay, all right. Well, you have to take some lessons from Ludvig.
I do. I just don't land those things. That's all.
I know. The fingers aren't quite as have the dexterity. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Well, I actually have to go too as well. Hey, Nick Heller, what's up? Nick, is that Nick Heller that used to be my neighbor? That would be really strange. To answer your question, Nick, I use the hard bushings.
Hard bushings, all the way.
Yeah.
All day, baby, because I'm going fast.
All right, Chris, you want to wrap it up with us?
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
We're wrapping up.
You're muted.
I just want to say thank you to everybody for doing this. Thank you, Ludvig and Ralph and just everybody. This is great. Scott Pease, I have not seen in years. It's so amazing to reconnect with you. Here we are. We're one of us is old now. I think it's me. I think it's actually me at this point. But
I think it's all of us except for Ludvig.
Except for Ludvig, yes, forever young. But no, this was a blast. I appreciate it. This is now archived on YouTube and Twitch and whatnot. And Tony, it's just like so incredible to spend time with you and hear you, tell stories about the game and your career. And this has just been such a pleasure. So I just want to thank everyone. And comments are still coming in. People are still commenting on this. The movie was super fun.
Well done. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, you guys. Thanks for everything.
Thanks, Tony.
Congrats on the dog.
They're asking about the next giveaway. So Ralph, you're gonna pick.
Yeah, I'll pick some random people from the comments, and I've got 3 of those Tony Hawk postcards. I'll send to you guys.
Great, and thank you so much, just everybody, especially Ludvig. You survived with the Red Bull.
Yes,
I did. Yeah.
Hey, Ludvig, what time is it in Stockholm?
Right now.
I think it's 4 a.m. right now or something.
4 a.m. All right. Yeah, all right. Dude, he's 20. He's like 22. Come on. 4 a.m. when you were 22. Yeah. Come on, dude. Come on.
But this was
I was at Neversoft office.
So
I was just finishing off walls and going home.
So I just want to say thank you to everybody. It's Ralph. I mean, we partied at Mammoth.
We did.
The Mammoth Film Festival.
Beverages.
So fun. That was so great. And Scott, just great to see you. I know we've been Facebook friends. I followed your career. It's just so amazing. Like here we are, like to be able to see this doc together, and just this was a blast.
It was a joy. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, it was great. Like I'm yes. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Chris.
Party. Yes.
Yeah.
This movie is an inspiration, and I just want to say thank you to everyone involved. It's been a pleasure. I really appreciate it. All right, take care, everybody.
All right, take care. Good night.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.